Hi everyone, this question was shared by one of your tuition mates. It involves problem solving questions involving standard forms. Okay, so I just want to discuss this question with you. Now, here they've given us the net drawing of a cube. Okay, and another information given is the total area of the net, which is 486 square centimeters. And what they want us to find is volume in cubic. So there are a few things you need to keep in mind. Number one is that what they have given us is total area, but what they want us to find is the volume. What they've given us is the area in square centimeters, but what they want us to find is in cubic meters. So there is a difference in the concept that they're asking, area versus volume. And then there's also difference in the units, square centimeters versus cubic meters. So there is also the concept of conversion that you must think about when you're doing this question. So to find area of the square, now we know that total area of a cube is made up of squares. Squares have equal sides. So every side in the square is of the same value. So let's say this is x, this is also going to be x. Now, to find area of this square, I would then have to take the length of the square, right? The length of the square multiply with the width of the square. So x times x, that's going to give me x square. And that would be the area of just one square in this net drawing. And we know that the net drawing of a cube consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares in total. That means I would have to take 6 and multiply with x square to get a formula to find the total net area of the cube, which is 6x square, which is given to us. The value is given to us as 486. So we want to link these two together, right? We want to link that two together. So that being said, I'm going to create an equation where 6x square is equals to 486. So if 6 square is 486, what is the value of x square? That would be 486 divided by 6. And that would give me 81. Now if x square, all right, if x square is 81, now we have to find the value of x. So x would be the square root of 81, because when a square is brought over to the right hand side, it becomes a square root. So square root of 81 is going to be 9 centimeters. So our first task is that we found the length of one side of the square. Second is actually converting the centimeters to meters, because they've given us the area in square centimeters, but what they want is in cubic meters. So they want you to convert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert the centimeters, okay, to meters. So we know that 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters. So if I want to change meters to centimeters, I would have to times 100. But if I want to do the other way around, centimeters convert to meters, I would then have to divide by 100. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the 9 and divide by 100 to convert it to meters. And that would give me 0.09 meters. So this is your first job, to find the length of one square, the side of one square. This is your second job, to convert it to meters. Now our final job is to find the volume of the cube. So a cube, the volume, the formula for volume of a cube. Volume of a cube is length times breadth or width times height. And we know that the length, the breadth and the height are all the same length, which is 0.09 meters. So that means it's 0.09 times 0.09 times 0.09, or 0.09 cube, which works as well. This will then give us the total of 0.000729 cubic meters. So this is our third job, to find the volume. Now we have to convert to standard form. That's the final thing that you have to do. So we will have to change 0.0000729 to 7.29 in order to keep it as a standard form format. 7.29 is between 1 and 10. That's how you are supposed to keep the format of standard form. That being said, if my decimal point is here, between 7 and 2, I will have to move 1, 2, 3, 4 places to my left in order to get the original value of 0.000729. That being said, I have to times 10 to the power of negative 4. And this is your final task. Step number 4, and this is your answer, which is equal to this one. That means our answer is C. Moving on to the next question. This is also another problem solving question involving standard forms. So what they have given us here, they say the diagram shows a steel block in the shape of a prism. So you should know everything to do with prism, volume, total surface area, all that. Trapezium PQRS is the uniform cross section. Now the reason they are telling us that it's a trapezium is because so you know that you have to use the area of a trapezium when you are finding anything to do with the prism. So the steel block is melted to make ball bearings. The mass of each ball bearing is 3.5 grams. So what they have given us now is the mass of each ball bearing, 3.5 grams. The density of the steel is 77,000 kilograms per cubic meters. So they've given us also the density. And now what they want us to find is the number of ball bearings. Now, the thing about the ball bearings is they've given us the mass. So we have to find the mass of the steel block first. In order to find the mass of the steel block, we will have to use the density formula. So density is given. So that's a good thing. This is given. Volume is not given. Mass is not given. And mass is what I want to find. This is my unknown. This is what I want to find out. But as you all know, in a formula, you only can have one unknown if you want to find the value of that unknown. So in this case, I have two things I don't know, the mass and the volume. However, volume I can find from the picture here. So let's talk about volume. This is what now we have to find out the volume of the steel block. So volume of the steel block is related to the shape of the steel block, and the shape of the steel block is in the shape of a prism. That means you have to think of the formula that's linked to volume of a prism. Volume of a prism's formula is the area of one of its cross section, which is the trapezium that they mentioned earlier. So now you know why they mentioned it, times the height of the prism, which is this 5 meters. So area of a trapezium, the formula is half times the sum of parallel lines, which is this one here. This is your parallel line, the 2 meters and the 1 meter over here, because this is 1 meter, so this is also 1 meter, and times with the height of the trapezium. So the height of the trapezium is this line over here. Okay, so that means 1 over 2 times 2 plus 1 times the height, which is 2. So this means 1 over 2 times 3 times 2. That's 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3 square meters. That's the area of the trapezium. Volume of the prism is the cross section, which is the area of the trapezium, 3 square meters, times with the height of the prism, which is 5 meters. So that means 15 cubic meters. So that means now I found my volume. So density equals to mass over volume. So what is the mass? That's what I need to find out. I don't know what's the mass. But I do know that my volume is now 15 and the density is 77,000. That means to find the mass, I will have to take 77,000 and multiply by 15. That's going to give me 1,155,000 kilograms. Okay. So now, this ball bearing, the mass of one ball bearing is 3.5 grams. They've given you in grams, which means you will have to either convert the kilograms to grams or the grams to kilograms. So the 3.5 kg, if I want to convert 3.5, not kg, grams. So the 3.5 grams, I want to convert it to kgs. That means I will have to divide with 1,000. Because kg to grams is times 1,000, grams to kg is the other way around. Which means I have to move my points 3 times to the left when I divide with 1,000. And that's going to give me 0.0035 kilograms. And what I'm going to do here to find the number of ball bearings. To find the number of ball bearings, I will have to take the total mass of the steel block, divide with the mass of one ball bearing. So this is now going to give me a value of 330 million ball bearings. Okay, so this is not in standard form. So what we are going to do is we are going to change it to standard form. That means the 330 million, I'll have to change to 3.3 to keep it in standard form, because 3.3 is between 1 and 10. So if I were to put my decimal point here, I'll have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times to my right. So that means I have to times with 10 to the power of 8. So this is your answer. Alright, this is a subjective question, so there's no objective answer to choose from. Yeah, but this is the correct answer. 3.3 times 10 to the power of 8. Okay? Alright, so that's it. These are the 2 questions that I wanted to discuss with you. So hope you found it useful. Bye guys.